Today I'll be photographing in Seal Beach. Seals being abundant in 1913, a land developer changed the name from Bay Beach to Seal Beach to attract buyers. Apparently the seals didn't help sell the lots, but eventually they sold them all. No seals to photograph today, but we will have a quaint old town area. I'm starting early this morning and plan on being there about sunrise. In 1944, the Navy opened an ammunition station here. Driving over this bridge that brings you into Seal Beach, off to the left you will often see Navy ships being loaded. Here is our destination, Old Town Seal Beach. And later, I'm hoping the theater will be all lit up. Back in the day, I can imagine these would have been everything a community needs. What remains is the post office, hardware store, and a newspaper office. Otherwise, it's all restaurants, coffee houses, and boutiques. I'm going to start on the pier. I'm not sure if I was planning on a sunny day and the clouds threw me off, or if I was just not seeing anything interesting. Whatever it was, I ended up just shooting video for a while, looking for something to photograph. I probably should have taken a shot of this man, but I didn't like the surfer in the water. This was a missed opportunity. It should have been taken with a shallow depth of field. I was actually shooting something across the street when I saw this going on behind me. At f/16, the depth of field doesn't blur out the background, and things get very confusing. You can barely tell the birds are sitting in the man's hands. I waited for this man to get into the light. Unfortunately, the light was just running across the ground and didn't really illuminate him in the way I thought it would. As you can see, the light was really changing every few minutes. Sunlight to cloudy. It's funny how it takes me a second or two to react. Here the light works pretty well, but the hedges in the background are a bit distracting. These two scenes would have been nice, except the garbage can in the top image, and in the bottom image, the man kept walking just in line with the electric pole, and he just blends in. I don't know where the light was coming from that's reflecting onto the clothes rack. I waited for someone to walk through the light from the alley. It's what I planned, but I wouldn't call it anything special. It's okay. I kept seeing this clock tower about a block away. It was the old city hall. The old part is on the left and the new part is on the right. It's always interesting how the remodel looks really good from afar, but as you get closer you see the two don't really match. The new one is too crisp. I lined up a couple of shots but decided they weren't what I was looking for. Perhaps on a sunny day I might feel differently. I ended up shooting just this one picture when the sun popped out for a second. Time to start walking around again. I thought this might be something with the reflection, but after watching a few people pass, I decided to move on. There's always these things that you find interesting in person, but really aren't great to shoot. That's how this electric train is. With video, it's kind of interesting to show the red train next to what replaced trains, the red car. off for something to eat. There are plenty of coffee and pastry shops in this area, but I'm driving a bit to a local spot. Nothing fancy, old school coffee and shop-made donuts. If they're calling that the old town, I'm guessing this is the new town, because this is the only part of the town that's developed. This donut shop has been here for 30 years and is part of the community. $4.85 for a coffee and 2 donuts. Can't go wrong. I decided to take a stop over to the World War II National Submarine Memorial and see if there was any photo opportunities there. Located right outside the Naval Station's entrance. It honors the 3,000 submariners lost during World War II and after. Each of these plaques represents a submarine down between 1941 and 44. These two are for the nuclear subs that sank in the 1960s. I ended up not taking any photographs. Sometimes it isn't about the photography. Drove back to Old Town to see what early afternoon might bring in the way of photos. Without the sun, the only difference is there's a few more people on the street. I decided to do a drone shot while I thought about what I was going to try next.
Okay, so the clouds have pretty much moved in 100%. Our sun map on here tells me the sun is right there. That light kind of white spot back behind my shoulder. And obviously we don't have anything yet. The rest of the place is looking pretty sad right now. Lots of clouds. Not that it would be bad for street photography, but we kind of did that already this morning in the only downtown area they have. So we're kind of waiting for the dark to try to get some nighttime shots. And ideally that will turn into something, maybe something dramatic. We may try a little time lapse, something like that. These lights over here on the pier should come on. So we're gonna just kind of hang out and see what happens. We've got about 2 hours left. So we'll see what we can come up with. Maybe I'll walk the pier, see if I can get a few shots.
For me, equipment is a limiting factor. So sometimes when it gets like this, I like to try something different. I'm grabbing the 250mm lens and we'll see what we can come up with. The shutter on these lenses will sometimes actuate when they sit around in the bumpy band. You need to reset it.
And yeah, I did wipe that fingerprint off the lens.
I think I got a couple of interesting shots. It's more traditional to walk around with a wide angle, maybe a 20mm, but choosing something this different is a lot of fun. It started to get dark well before sunset, so I'm off to shoot some twilight type shots. And I'm headed into town. Again, there are lighted signs on most of the buildings, but they aren't turned on, and they never do. It makes the streets extremely dark, so if I get a couple of shots, I'll feel lucky.
We have one more stop that I think I want to take, but I'm not sure if the lights are going to be on. There's an old Art Deco theater at the end of the street. If the lights are on, we got something. If the lights are off, we are done. And it's only about 5:20.
But I did get this one to the pier at night. No light on the theater, so that's gonna do it for tonight. Had a great time, and I hope to get back on a sunny day. As always, I hope you'll subscribe, like, and comment. Thanks so much.